だるまさんが転んだ。
これって何がどうなってるの？いや、
俺にもわかんないよ。
The movie introduces three students, Shun, Amaya, and Ichika. In a moment of reflection, Shun complains to God about his monotonous and boring life. In the next scene, we see him in a university classroom, accompanied by his friends, where there is a disturbing doll. The Daruma doll has forced the students to participate in a game called Daruma-san Ga Karanda. This grotesque-looking doll, with just a head, is sitting on the desk in front of them. The doll spins after singing, and if it detects anyone moving, it kills them and turns them into red marbles. The students, increasingly worried, realize they don't know the rules of the game and fear joining their fallen classmates. One by one, their numbers start to dwindle. Two boys try to open the door to escape, but find it locked. As they move, they are caught by the doll and are killed immediately. Suddenly, a gamer boy approaches to read the message on the back of the doll, which states that the game will end if they press a button. One boy quickly runs towards him, but as he does, the doll turns around and kills him. At that moment, Shun notices there's a timer on the back of the doll and realizes they don't have much time left. Hearing this, several students try to turn it off, but all fail. In the end, only Shun and the gamer boy remain, while the others turn into red marbles, preventing them from reaching the doll without slipping. With time running out, the gamer has an idea and suggests to Shun to use his back to jump over the bodies and press the button. Finally, Shun manages to press the button, thus ending the game. As the survivors celebrate, the doll declares Shun the only winner and kills the gamer. The movie flashes back to the past when Shun's life was boring and normal. We see him sitting on a couch, playing video games and flipping through channels. At school, he walks with his gamer friend, who suggests he ask Ichika out. Ichika is another student who also enjoys video games. Shun replies that he feels nothing for her and considers her just a friend. They head to the classroom when they encounter a boy being bullied by Amaya, the school bully. Inside the classroom, Shun falls asleep, and a loud noise wakes him up. At that moment, his teacher's head explodes, and the Daruma doll appears, resuming the events from the beginning of the movie. In the present, Shun begins to pray to God to return him to his boring life. The Daruma doll calls him a mouse and warns him that a cat will come for him very soon. Meanwhile, Ichika Akimoto approaches Shun's classroom and is horrified to see the situation. Shun asks her if she knows what's going on, but she admits she's as confused as he is. They try to call the police, but there's no signal. Then, they attempt to escape the school, but all exits and doors are locked. The duo runs to the basketball court, where they are surprised to see other students dressed as mice, who have survived the Daruma doll. Looking at the ground, they find the words "ring the cat" spell to end this. Then, the school president orders them to put on the mouse costumes. At that moment, the floor of the court opens up, and a gigantic plastic cat appears. The giant feline begins to devour the students one by one, causing panic. Shun notices a bell shaped like a ball and a timer. He quickly informs everyone that to end the game, the bell must go through the hoop placed around the cat's neck. A student, a good basketball player, tries to shoot the bell, but the cat catches him and kills him instantly. Shun, showing his ingenuity, realizes that the cat only kills those wearing the mouse costume. He suggests that everyone take it off, and they all comply. For a moment, the cat remains inactive, but when the students start to celebrate, it devours another one. In the chaos, Ichika falls to the ground. Shun puts the mouse costume back on and starts to distract the cat. He realizes that with the costume on, he can hear the cat's voice, which is actually just looking for company and asking to be scratched on the back so it can sleep peacefully. Shun turns around and starts scratching it, inviting others to join. Finally, the cat falls asleep. With the cat asleep, Shun grabs the bell and prepares to throw it into the hoop. However, the other students stop him, believing he's the only one who can score the bell and be the winner. In the midst of the fight that breaks out among them, the cat wakes up and starts attacking again. Shun devises a new plan. He takes Ichika inside and hides the bell. In a normal basketball game, they trick the cat. As they throw the ball and are ready to celebrate, The bell bounces off the hoop, but suddenly, Amaya arrives just in time and scores the shot, thus ending the game. The cat declares that only Shun, Ichika, and Amaya can live. Shun asks about the fate of the losers, but before he can get an answer, Amaya kills the remaining students, claiming that only the strongest will survive, which is a blessing from God. She approaches Shun and tells him that they are alike, as they have what it takes to survive. Ichika, on the other hand, defends Shun, stating that he is kinder, stronger, and smarter than Amaya. Hearing this, Amaya becomes furious and tries to attack Ichika, but the cat releases a gas that knocks everyone unconscious. In the next scene, a news channel reports on the incidents surrounding the schools, including a terrorist attack. Another report shows large cubes floating over the cities and mentions the defense and police departments. Despite the efforts made, no entrance to the cubes has been found yet. The media also reveals that the survivors of the incident are considered children of God for having managed to survive such an adverse situation. Several journalists and interviewers are seen alongside a university professor, who describes the incident as an extraterrestrial invasion of human existence. Next, a homeless person is shown fixing a broken radio simply by touching it. Later, Shun wakes up inside one of the cubes, where he meets other survivors: Takumi, his childhood friend, Tiara, a shy and scared girl, and Tauka, an arrogant but intelligent student who feels disappointed to find himself trapped in a deadly game that is turned into a terrifying experience. He tries to escape but discovers that all the doors are locked. Tauka informs him that the only way to leave the room is by winning the game, boasting that his intelligence will lead him to victory. Through a screen, they receive instructions that they must find the keys to escape. At that moment, 4 wooden dolls enter the room and explain the rules of the game. They indicate that each participant will be blindfolded, and the dolls will surround them singing songs. When the music stops, the participant must guess which of the 4 kokeshi dolls is behind them within 10 seconds. If they fail to guess correctly, the outcome will be fatal. However, if the kokeshi dolls fail, one of them will explode, releasing a key that will open the doors and allow the survivors to advance to the next level. Confidently, Tauka volunteers to go first, followed by Tiara, but neither of them manages to answer correctly and both are killed. The dolls approach Takumi, but Shun insists on going first. Thanks to his intelligence, he wins the game by noticing the difference in the dolls' voices, using his phone to reveal that he had recorded their voices during Tiara's round. At the end of the game, the dolls explode, leaving behind a key that Shun picks up before leaving the room with Takumi. Upon exiting, they see a man being chased by a terrifying doll. He approaches and asks them to take his hand to save him, mentioning that the dolls can't harm those who are holding hands. They decide to help him, and the doll backs off, jealous of the strength of their friendship. Shun notices the pendant that Takumi is wearing and has a flashback, remembering a moment when Takumi was about to commit suicide from a rooftop. At that moment, Shun was breaking cups and glasses against a wall to release his anger and offers Takumi to do the same. By doing so, Takumi feels better, and now he carries the same cup handle that Shun had offered him. Suddenly, they hear a girl's voice screaming from the other side. They run toward the sound and find Ichika fleeing from the same terrifying doll. Shun jumps to take her hand and save her. Shortly after, a wall erodes, revealing the face of the doll with 7 keyholes. Shun and his group arrive at a place where 2 contestants are already waiting. When they count their keys, they discover they are missing 3. At that moment, Amaya appears with the remaining keys and kills her companion, as only 7 of them can advance to the next round. When the 7 locks are unlocked, the doll's face declares them winners, and the wall erodes, creating a passage. A voice instructs them to follow the passage using the provided costumes. Here it is revealed that all the games are being broadcast on television across the country. The atmosphere in the room was icy, as if the very breath of winter had taken over the place. Suddenly, an imposing polar bear burst onto the scene, its piercing gaze and threatening presence filling the space. With a deep, resonant voice, it declared its aversion to liars and those with black hearts. In this deadly game, there was only one rule: tell the truth. Any slip-up, any deception, would mean death. The game began with a simple question: what is your favorite food? The answers flowed, but the bear, with its sharp instincts, suspected that someone was hiding the truth. With a limited time of 2 minutes, it urged the contestants to point out the liar. At first, they defended their choices, but soon, the looks turned towards a boy who had answered parsley. Without mercy, the bear crushed him, and the room filled with a chilling silence. The second question came, and the bear asked who liked Shun. Everyone who knew Shun responded affirmatively, stating that they found him attractive. However, Takumi, in an unexpected turn, dared to say no. Distrust took hold of the bear, who demanded once again that the liar be revealed. This time, everyone pointed at Takumi. Despite Shun's efforts to save her friend, fate was cruel, and Takumi was killed. Torn by the loss, Shun screamed that the real traitor was none other than the white bear. And, to his horror, the revelation was true. The bear shed its white fur, revealing its dark original color. With all the lies exposed, the game came to an end, and the survivors were led to a temple. As the door opened, 3 dolls welcomed them, congratulating them for making it this far. They introduced themselves as Fitness, Intelligence, and Imagination, and revealed the name of the final game, Kick the Can to end it. One of them would be the demon, while the others would be the victims. The demon had to find the victims and trap them before kicking the can to win. But there was a price: whoever kicked the can would die in an explosion. The 5 participants chose sticks, and the red one went to Amaya, who quickly placed the can on the ground and began her search. 2 students were captured almost immediately. Ichika, in a heroic act, sacrificed herself to distract Amaya, allowing Shun to escape. However, Amaya, confident, proclaimed that she didn't need to find Shun to win. Despite Ichika's advice, Shun emerged in a suit of armor that concealed his face. Amaya, mocking him, removed the helmet, and as she prepared to kick the can, she realized that Shun had tied an iron chain to her. In a dramatic twist, Shun jumped into the water, dragging Amaya with him. As they struggled, Shun shed his armor and moved towards the can. Amaya managed to free herself and ran towards the can, but Shun was faster and kicked it. The tension was palpable in the air as they awaited the explosion, but nothing happened. The dolls, with mocking smiles, declared everyone winners except Amaya, revealing that the explosion had only been an illusion to heighten the tension of the game. Furious, Amaya confronted the dolls, shouting that she shouldn't die because she had been chosen by God. But the dolls laughed, revealing that no one was meant to die. The winners were celebrated with fireworks, and while enjoying ice cream, Shun finally gathered the courage to invite Ichika to the movies, expressing his feelings. However, when their ice creams began to melt, they discovered inscriptions on the sticks: "You live for some, you die for others." Tragedy struck when one of the dolls eliminated the losers, and Shun watched in horror as Ichika disappeared into thin air. Finally, he and Amaya emerged from a bucket, hailed by a crowd calling them children of God. Amaya rejoiced, but Shun, kneeling and desperate, proclaimed that there is no God after so many losses. One of the dolls corrected him, stating that God existed. The movie culminated with the revelation that the homeless man from before was, in fact, God.